Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us today at our Fireside Chat, Breaking Free from Legacy DLP. My name is Harold Bell, and I'm the head of integrated marketing at Cyberhaven. I'm joined here today by Matt Webb, who is the senior manager of information security at Zebra Technologies. Matt, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Nice to meet you, everybody. My name is Matt Webb, senior manager of information security at Zebra Technologies. I've been in information technology for 20 years, and I spent the last 5 years focusing on data protection, working for Zebra Technologies.
Great. What was the breaking point for you when you think about finally pivoting away from the empty promises of yesterday to a more modern solution like Cyberhaven?
So we've had multiple DLP tools over the years, and we think it's an evolving space, and we're trying to find the best tool that fits what our needs are. And when we went to market and we were looking, I think we interviewed everybody that was out there, to be honest with you. And we were looking for like an all-in-one solution that could do insider threat, it could do DLP, it could do UBA. And, you know, in the data security platforms that are out there, we don't really think the technology is actually fully baked in there yet, but we have what we need for what our needs are today.
So I want to double click there in terms of what your security operations look like prior to the switch, specifically with false positives and user impact.
What we liked about Cyberhaven really was its data lineage capabilities. For us, those data lineage capabilities really have been a game changer in reducing our false positives and improving our rule sets, which is a big efficiency saver over time. We've always had a robust set of standards, processes, and procedures. And, the great thing that we liked about with Cyberhaven is the way that it uniquely gives us the ability to create data sets, right? So creating data sets by source for us it allows us to paint with a big brush. As we meet with our data owners and our teams and we talk to them, we don't want to dive into the details with them, and nor them with us about how to create context-specific or file names, related asset information, to be able to point it at a source and then track that data through to the end, just draw a map for our end users and show them, and the data owners can see where the data is going. Has been very powerful.
Nice. Let's pivot and talk about, some of the nice to haves or requirements that you were looking for in a new platform. Can you, talk about some of the specific things that you were evaluating when you were looking at some of the new market players?
One of the really nice features that we saw during the demos was Cyberhaven gives us a nice pop-up during some actions like an upload or download, whatever, that we can put a custom message on. What we call it is inline education, right? And it's great because, as people are doing their day-to-day, we want to reach out and tell them that this is the wrong way to move data. This is the right way to move data. And we coach them. And we can do that with the tool, with that pop-up. So it was that feature.
Nice.
With the data lineage that we really like.
No, that's great to hear that. That's one of the more subtle capabilities within the platform, but it really can drive a measurable difference internally, with your staff.
Yeah.
So you mentioned data lineage a few times so far, and I want to, explore how has the idea or the concept of context awareness or data lineage kind of shifted your perspective on what's possible with data security?
One of the issues that we run into with previous platforms is it didn't have all the context in there, right? So we need enriched data to make decisions in the operational day-to-day as we're looking at stuff. So we need to know, computer type, usernames, locations, what kind of data they're accessing, file names. To be honest, what we had in the past is we'd have one tool, and then we'd have another tool open, and another tool open, and we'd have reports. So as you pull some information at this one, I put into another one to extract, another one to extract, and at scale, that's just not a viable solution.
You have like 500 browser tabs open at one time.
And trying to get answers out of that and stitch that whole story together was just, it's painful.
Yeah.
So, the data lineage piece is, it empowers you to be able to see, like, we know that source is correct because our data owners have told us that this is the source, this is the sensitive data, and it can track where that data goes. When we take that full picture and we turn around and we show it to our data owners, I find it amazing to sit down with them and show them because they are shocked to be able to say, wow.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
And I'm glad you articulated, because there's so many people that I encounter where data lineage is such a ambiguous term. It's I don't know what that means, but then having you not only, as somebody who's using it, articulate it so folks at home go, hey, you see it's useful. It's not just some marketing jargon that we just cooked up. It actually is a tangible game changer for your business.
Being able to show the data owners who are busy doing their own day jobs, not focusing on this,
Yeah.
we can show you who did what, when, with who, and where,
Nice.
and
Nice.
draw that map.
Nice. So beyond data lineage, there's another buzzword, I guess, that everybody has probably heard enough of this year, and it's AI, right?
Yeah.
But AI has also, a place, within our platform. So I'm wondering, from your perspective, how has AI impacted or accelerated your incident response process?
So for us, the AI in the tool, we use it during the analysis phase of events that occur.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like we were just talking about, like you have to use multiple tools to stitch a story together.
Yeah.
That's what we have to piece together, right? We have to figure out what data is moving where, and then what the bigger story is around it.
Mm-hmm.
So to pull all these context points from a lot of different places, or have AI summarize it for us, is powerful. It gives us another jump ahead in efficiency to be able to reduce the amount of time it takes to triage events that we see happening every day.
So taking that a step further, what would you say has been kind of the impact from a big picture perspective as it relates to accelerating incident investigations?
So as we've been talking about, it's really the reduction of the false positives.
Mm-hmm.
The false positives still require the amount of effort it takes to go hunt down and stitch that story together,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the more that we can drive those down, and we drive them down by ensuring the data source is correct, using the data lineage to show our data owners and reduce false positives. Our analysts spend less time looking at the wrong data.
You heard him. He said less time, guys. Less.
Less
Not
time.
more time, less time.
We're looking at these events,
Yeah.
right? We're focused more on the events that matter to us, the true positive events. And that's really where the big saver is. And that's where we've gained the most significant improvements in terms of efforts.
Great. So for this to be an authentic conversation, right, we can't just focus on like the rosy picture. We have to, actually talk about where the rubber meets the road. And were there any obstacles, challenges, barriers that you experienced, either operationally or otherwise, that you can share? And if so, how did you guys overcome them as you were making the transition?
Yeah, good question. I think in any change or platform implementation you do, there's always going to be technical challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's always best to look at them as an opportunity to improve your standards and your processes and your procedures.
Mm-hmm.
But as you go through these challenges, what we did is we implemented like a phased implementation, so we can handle issues as they arise easier.
Mm-hmm.
We made sure that the teams were trained well on how to use the platform. And we also had really good open communication and feedback with Cyberhaven, which is valuable, right? We resolved things as they came up. It seems that like any new tool that you roll out always seems to draw some attraction about this is the tool that's causing an issue. And, there's always true positives and false positives.
Yeah.
But what's been most valuable, I think, to us is going back to Cyberhaven, talking about them, getting them resolved quickly. And I think that's really built like a really good relationship between us and Cyberhaven that I value.
Nice, nice. So we've talked about the impact organizationally, right, thus far, but let's kind of dive into what has the user experience kind of improved since you pivoted to a more modern solution?
Yeah, we feel the end user experience is greatly improved by implementing Cyberhaven. And it goes back to what we're talking about with the pop-ups, right? What we call inline education. So it's a balance between protecting your data, but also having the data available to people at the same time. So being right in the middle, we use that inline education, the pop-up, to guide people on how to properly and safely use sensitive data, right? Because if you just put a block in, then they're going to find another way to move the data around. With that ability to reach out and talk to them over a message as they're doing the data transaction, it's powerful. Because we can coach them on the best way to handle the sensitive data the way that we want them to.
Because that's ultimately our goal, right? It's like, how do you still continue to get work done,
right,
but stay safe at the same time, right?
Right. Yeah. And being able to coach people is very valuable.
Great. So to wrap this up, I think the key theme of this whole Fireside Chat has been to provide our audience with some tangible action items or insights that they can take with them in terms of like how they should be looking at their security posture or data security posture going forward. What would you say would be the biggest takeaway or biggest takeaways from your opinion in terms of this entire transition for you?
I would say the biggest lesson that we've learned is thorough planning, right? And getting the support of all your key stakeholders and have a clear understanding of what your requirements are, right? And be able to communicate that. and also be able to show back what you're seeing with the tool. So you can empirically prove and show that these are the things that are happening within our environment. The complexity of data protection really requires you to have the right tool for the job. And, we spent a lot of time with other vendors and they weren't able to solve our use cases. We moved over to Cyberhaven and we still think Cyberhaven is the right tool for the job for us. And we're very glad to have partnered with you guys.
You heard it first. He's excited. We're excited. You get excited. All right. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Matt, for sharing all of your wonderful insights. And we, or you rather, should look forward to more content, not only from our existing customers, but thought leaders in the data security space to help you, improve your data security posture in the coming weeks, months, quarters, and years. So again, thank you for joining. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.